Now we go to the midway point of the junior Rotax heats. It's groups A versus C. Let's have a look at your starting grid. So the grids have been decided through qualifying yesterday. So it will be Christopher El Fagali and Timo Jungling on the front row. Mateo Radenkovic and Thomas Behrmann round out row number 2, with Hamza Al-Fayez and Alberto Pico Fracassi row number 3. Crick Noren and Thomas Spearing on row 4. Archie Clark and Joshua Graham round out the top 10. Tino Sidler and Ryan Bourguignon on row 6. Aras Mjauskis and Thomas Rudokas on row 7. Jure Levar and Oscar Gouchot, row 8. Olivier Jonkers and August Raber round out the 9th row, with Kasper Nissen and Romain Kitzinger rounding out the top 20. Julian Kovacevic, Jake Menton, Rasmus Koskinen, Santeri Leitinen and Mathis Ometre round out the 25-strong grid. So far, we have had 2 different winners. We've had Mateo Radenkovic and Kasper Schroman, so 1 win for Belgium, 1 win for the Netherlands. Could we have a 3rd different winner in this race? Or we could have a 2-time winner in this one. Both drivers on the front row have finished in the top 3 in their respective heats last time out. The red lights are on the starting gantry as the field slowly makes its way out of turn number 12. They split, they go into the tram lines, revs rise. Are we ready? Are we steady? Lights are out, we are underway. As the field makes its way into turns 1 and 2, as Radenkovic right behind El Fagali. As they make their way through into turn 2, a couple of drivers using the runoff area, which they are able to do in the opening lap to avoid any potential incidents. After the opening lap, if they go all 4 wheels outside of it, as that was a lunge and a half from Thomas Behrmann trying to get through into 3rd place. But he went a bit too deep, ended up back into 4th position. As at the front end of the field, it is Christopher El Fagali leading. 2nd, it's Mateo Radenkovic. 3rd looks to be Timo Jungling. 4th is Thomas Behrmann, as Hamza Al-Fayez fires it up the inside through into turn number 10, and that was on Alberto Kiko Fracassi. Josh Graham not too far behind either, as Mateo Radenkovic takes the lead through turn 12 off of Christopher El Fagali. Lap 1 in the books. 6 minutes to go plus an additional lap. And there were 6 100ths apart with the 2 in front. So Jungling, Behrmann, Al-Fayez, Fracassi, Graham, Spearing, Clark and Bourguignon round out the top 10 positions. Hamza Al-Fayez trying to battle for position. That would have been with more than likely Joshua Graham or Thomas Spearing. But the leaders making their way through into turn number 9. So out of turn number 11, Radenkovic will then lead them over to complete lap number 2. El Fagali just trying to keep a good run of consistency in his 3 respective heats. A little bit further back, a battle really happening now with the likes of Ryan Bourguignon, Archie Clark. That's probably for the bottom part of the top 10. And just behind them, they've got Crick Noren from the Netherlands. Aras Mjauskis in 12th. Santeri Leitinen has dropped to the back end of the field. So 25th position for the Force Racing Finland driver. And good to see that Hannes Uberfeld is in the YouTube chat as well, cheering on Julian Kovacevic. Move up the inside. That was Tino Sidler on the 282 of Aras Mijalskis through into turn number 7. So the Swiss driver running with JJ Racing gets through on the UK driver, running with Argenti. So 4th, 5th and 6th being hotly contested. There's now Alberto Kiko Fracassi up the inside of Thomas Behrman to take 4th place. Joshua Graham from Argenti Motorsport is in 6th and is right with the 2 in front as they make their way into turns 1 and 2. Graham slightly holding back, just waiting for the opportunity to get through at a moment's notice. And now Joshua Graham sees the opportunity. Slight touch between the 2. They both run side pod to side pod down the Europalan. And Graham is going to have the inside line. Neatly gets through. Hamza Al-Fayez, who's in 7th at the moment, is closing in on the pair in front. But Mateo Denkovic is not quite getting away. Christopher El Fagali still holding on to 2nd position. Joshua Graham on the previous took the fastest lap, 57.712. And now it's El Fagali. Then it's Kiko Fracassi in 4th that takes the fastest lap. As up the inside goes the 272 of Ryan Bourguignon on Archie Clark. Just behind them they've got Krit Knuren and Thomas Min Spearing. Spearing up the inside of the 272 of Bourguignon. Oh no! And there's a touch between Bourguignon and the 262, I believe that was, of Krit Knuren. Tried to get out of harm's way. They came through into, and we've got another driver having a little bit of a drama. That is the 228. It might be it's the 226 of Thomas Rudokas. Oh, a moment there for Julian Kovacevic. And it was contact between the 272 of Ryan Bourguignon and Krit Knuren. Bourguignon tried to cross over to the other side of the straights, and it didn't quite pan out as expected. Now there has been a change for the race lead in the meantime. Christopher El Fagali now leads ahead of Mateo Denkovic. Timo Jungling, Alberto Kiko Fracassi and Joshua Graham round out the top 5 positions. Thomas Behrman in 6th place, but now in 7th and holds the fastest lap of anybody with a 57.307 second lap time. Jordan's Hamza Al-Fayez. And he is closing on Behrman. And what's more, Al-Fayez has gotten past, now up into 6th. And now another change for the race lead as Radenkovic gets through on El Fagali. Jungling and Fracassi waiting in the wings for their turn. All 4 were covered by just over 7/10 of a second. After the previous lap, as now El Fagali looks up the inside, sticks his nose in. And that means that Radenkovic has to respond. And Timo Jungling and Alberto Kiko Fracassi, are they going to all get past? Yes, they are. So a good job there by all 3 drivers. So within a handful of corners, Radenkovic drops from the race lead down to 4th position as a move has just transpired. That's Hamza Al-Fayez now up into 5th place, having just got past Josh Graham from Argenti Motorsport through into turn number 9. Great work by the Jordanian driver. Two more laps to go, including this one, and the top 2 covered by just under a 1/10 of a second, as Jungling now looks to try and get the race lead from Christopher El Fagali. El Fagali hangs on for the moment. Fracassi is waiting in the wings. Radenkovic has fallen a little bit further back, as Joshua Graham has got back past Hamza Al-Fayez. Oh no, Joshua Graham ends up in the back of Mateo Radenkovic, who's turned around at turn 6. I think that was just an unfortunate incident there, as everyone was battling for real estate, and now the top 3 are squabbling quite hard right now because El Fagali leads. Youngling and Fracassi round out the top 3 positions. Yeah, it just goes to show how quickly things can change, as now Timo Youngling loses out to Alberto Kiko Fracassi for second as we go into the final lap of the race. Now Youngling decides, well, you might want to have second, but I want it more, and decided to fire it up the inside of the Italian. And Matteo Denkovic drops down to 11th position after that touch from Joshua Graham. And now Youngling and Fracassi battling away through turn 7. There's Hamza Al-Fayez waiting to strike at a moment's notice, but only has turn 9 and then 3 more corners to see what he can make the best out of it. El Fagali makes his way through into turn 10 for the final time. Al-Fayez swings it out wide through into turn 10. He could open the door for Thomas Behrman, and he does. But it's going to be 3 different winners from 3 different races. Christopher El Fagali comes out of the final corner. He's going to win the race. Second, it's going to go to Timo Youngling. And then the squabble behind. Alberto Kiko Fracassi, I think, has gotten third. Yes, he has. Hamza Al-Fayez, fourth. Joshua Graham, fifth. Thomas Behrman in sixth. Krik Knorren. And it's Archie Clark, Thomas Minspearing, and Tino Sidler that round out the top 10. 11th, Matteo Radenkovic, unfortunately dropped down the order due to the contact with Joshua Graham. With a couple of laps to go at turn 6, he finishes ahead of Kasper Nissen, Olivier Jonkers, Aras Majalskis, Jure Levar, Matti Sometre, Rasmus Koskinen. Ryan Bourguinot also having dramas and was backwards down the grassy part of the inside of the Europolán ahead of Ryan Bourguinot. August Raver, Roman Kitzinger, Santeri Leitinen, Thomas Rudokas, with Oscar Gouchot, Julian Kovacevic and Jake Menton rounding out the 25 strong, all completing the 9 laps of racing. The juniors again provided some drama as well with this moment for Ryan Bourguinot. He got a tag coming into the path of Krik Knorren. And luckily enough, the French driver managed to continue over the course of the race. The lead did change multiple different times, especially with the fact that Christopher El Fagali and Matteo Radenkovic were looking to go one up on the other. And Radenkovic was looking for 2 victories in a row, being the only driver to do so. Fracassi also factored into this race, managing to slide his way past sideways on Timo Youngling for second position to try and chase down the Lebanese wonder that is Christopher El Fagali. It all came to a head towards the end of the race itself, as El Fagali would take the victory quite convincingly, whilst everyone else would squabble over the scraps on the dinner table. Timo Youngling taking second, third was Fracassi, fourth was Al-Fayez, with Joshua Graham and Thomas Behrman rounding out a